Estate Radio Chattanooga. Whether you're a buyer, a seller, or a homeowner, get the
now you're talking.
The right information with our host.
That's it, man. There you go.
Every Saturday here at
That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song.
We're the rocket loan officers.
Real estate market as we keep you one step ahead of everyone else. Here's our host for Real Estate Radio Chattanooga, Richard Smith.
Good afternoon and welcome to Real Estate Radio Chattanooga on 102.3 The Talk Monster. I'm Richard Smith, your host for the show. I'm excited to bring you today, or every Saturday afternoon from 3 to 4, local experts to give you accurate and current information about the housing market and the home financing market. Today, I welcome Tina Christine and Vicki Phillips to the program. Both are very experienced and knowledgeable mortgage experts.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Vicki.
Hey, Richard. Hey, Vicki.
I have worked with each of them for over 10 years. They have very loyal clients and very loyal real estate referral partners because they're good at what they do. Tina's phone number, by the way, is 785-7381. Vicki's phone number is 320-8208 for any real estate questions. The first question, though, that I have is, have either of y'all seen Reese Witherspoon?
I have. I drove through Chickamauga yesterday and saw her walking out of a building.
You did not.
I
don't believe that.
I'm lying.
I do not believe that.
I saw her on the news, though.
According to Facebook, she got picked up by a local real estate agent.
Yeah, I read that. I saw that.
Yeah.
He was wondering if he was going to get married here or Hollywood, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that, Ryan. You're not getting away with that one.
Yeah, can we mention any names as to what agent that was?
I didn't mention that name. Just kidding. Just kidding. Today's topic is mortgage interest rates. They're in the news every day. The Times Free Press ran a front page story last month. And of course, they're always in the top of minds of our consumers. The call lines are open at 267-1023 or 888-779-TALK if you need to call in. Before we talk about rates, though, I wanted to talk a little bit about some current news that happened last week in the mortgage finance markets. Thursday, Congress passed the funding extension for Rural Development Guaranty program. Tina and Vicki, can y'all go over some of that about that program?
Well, I think it's about time they did it after making everybody wait for 2 months.
Yeah, at least 2 months. It may have been 3 before they ran out of funds. We're talking about guarantee program. They have to have funds for you to be able to get the loan, and they ran out back in May because so many people were using this great program. And the bill had been in Congress, I think, since April or since March or so, but they just passed it yesterday or Thursday. Hasn't been signed by the president yet. But Vicki or Tina, can you give us some information about the program? What's so great about it?
It is a wonderful program, Richard. It is for families that want to live in rural areas. There's a lot of areas in Tennessee and Georgia that we deal with that you can buy yourself your new home. It's 100% financing, so there's no down payment required, and the seller can actually even pay your closing costs.
Pay all your closing costs.
Pay all of your closing costs, so you get in the house with no money down. It's a good interest rate, too.
And no mortgage insurance on a monthly basis.
There are income limits, so it depends on the size of your family, so we can help you with that. If you'll just give us a call and let us know how many people are in your family, we can tell you how much the limit is and if you qualify for that loan.
Tina, you talked to the state office, I think, Friday after that news came out. What did they give you any news on any updates when the funds are going to be actually available?
I did, Richard. I called the Chattanooga office, and they actually directed me to Nashville, and they didn't have anything really that we didn't know already. They were still waiting on updates from their state or the local, not the local office. I'm sorry, the national office. So they were still waiting, and hopefully they will hear something a little bit more detailed first part of next week. So we'll be checking back with them. First part? Okay.
Mm-hmm. We'll get that information out on Facebook and Twitter and our blogs and all that kind of stuff, websites. But if you have any questions, call the number. My number is 280-0345.
My number, this is Tina, is 785-7381.
Say that again.
785-7381.
And this is Vicki. My number is 320-8208.
All right. That's about rural development questions. Vicki, you mentioned it took them a long time to pass that, to get that passed, at least since March, and the funds ran out in May. Why did they take so long?
There were just a lot of debates over how they were going to appropriate the funds and what they were going to want to institute as far as the funding fee.
Yeah, that funding fee's
And-
still up in there, yeah. I
Yeah,
guess.
how they were going to allocate the funds. We've had a lot of the lenders that still were closing the rural development loans, but quite a few just cut the program out completely. Fortunately, we still had access to a lot of lender resources that would close the rural development loans, so we didn't have to cut that program out for our borrowers.
They were expecting the funding to be passed and were willing to do that. And rural development came out in May or so and said they would go ahead and fully underwrite them with a conditional approval pending Congress funding, and so you had a couple of lenders that would still fund it. That was good news for some people, for a couple people actually.
Oh yeah, we've closed several in the last few months.
What else has Congress got going for us? Just curious. We've got the FHA program. What's happening there? There's debates coming on as far as lowering the seller concessions. I'm just curious as our listeners know about that.
Well, Richard, right now, seller's concessions are limited to 6%. That means the seller can pay up to 6% of the buyer's closing costs and prepaid items, such as homeowners insurance, taxes, and that sort of thing. And Congress is actually trying to get that lowered to 3%, so that's the big discussion right now.
Congress and HUD, I suppose, let me say that. They're having the administration's having hearings on it.
Yes.
Starting on. If you want to make a public comment on that, please call us. We'll tell you how to comment to give them your opinion about that.
Isn't it right, Richard, that they're just giving us 30 days, and I think there's probably only a few weeks left?
I think the comment period is over August the 17th, I believe. They did cut that comment period short. I'm not sure why they did that. Anyway, they also took a long time to extend the flood insurance program. I think somebody needs to tell Congress we have a housing problem in the country, maybe.